Oh, laughed. Dude. You sure are consistent from year to year. It's either this bush or that bush that he gets wrapped around. We have a neighbor with 2 dogs, and they are noisy. And they're barking at this guy. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. So this morning, we're gonna work on getting our living room set up. First, I've got to take care of these 2 things right here. I've got the mat right here. It made the whole trip wedged right up there with 1 bungee cord going over it. And it was fine, because, you know, back here there's really no air or anything, no air movement. The bicycle, I use this is some kind of foam. I found it upstairs at Mom's house. She doesn't know how it ended up there. It's some kind of, I don't know, yoga exercise something. So it's bungeed to the bicycle to keep it from hitting against the truck. And I use 2 ratchet straps, one on the frame up here and one on the frame back here. And they're ratcheted to these door holder rings here that are part of the ambulance. And that's all that's holding the bike. And it made the whole trip with a cover that I had bought for it. So we're going to get that unloaded today along with the motorcycle and make sure that everything made the trip okay. I've got to reattach the handlebars and the pedals because I took them off to make the bike narrower. So the handlebars, I removed them. You know, all the cables are still connected. I wrapped them in a towel with a bungee around it, and then I attached them to the down frame of the bike. So the handlebars are up underneath. They're like right here. As long as all that held together, which I'm sure it did, the bicycle should be fine. Okay, so that's today's project. Uh-oh, I just heard. This is my zero gravity chair, and I just heard a little bit of tearing when I got up. And as I look, we got problems developing here. This is not gonna last. I had this chair before we even started traveling. I was using it to go on camping trips with Lefty. So this thing is, I'm gonna say it's 8 or 9 years old. And it has been through it. You know, I use it in here every night. This is where I sit. Oh, I can see. Oh, I thought that was more tearing, but it's just the light coming through. You know, I sit in here recline back, watch my movies and stuff. But it looks like it might be near time to replace. I just hope my butt doesn't fall through. It's got these stretchies, so the fabric isn't taking all of the brunt. But I'm going to be a little careful, and I'm going to have to order a new one. This is not going to last. You're going to come over and help? I would appreciate it. Hi, everyone. I hope y'all are doing great today. I've got to apologize for the background noise there. The generator's running. It's a whole story that I've got to get into that I don't think I'm going to tie up this video with talking about that. I've got to get our shower tent, my shower tent set up. Everything is our. A lot of you all know why I say that. Because there's two of us, so everything is our. But I've got to get the shower tent set up. You can see that my tarp here is looking a little haggard. I have a brand new tarp that I think Paul and Nancy sent to me, possibly. But it's a full-size large tarp, and I don't want to cut it up. This piece here this used to be a big tarp that got torn, so I cut it, then it got torn, so I cut it, then it got torn, so I cut it. So it's been cut several times to now where this is actually the perfect size. My shower tent goes like right here. I have a little walkway that comes in. My little get ready area. So I have everything I need. I used to do it like up here, but I changed my parking position. And, my shower hose is plenty long enough to come out to the shower out here. So I'm just gonna do it out here. So I have my, you remember I talked about, I got these little canvas bags, a set of these that I carry my hold down nails and all that. So far this has worked perfect. I already obviously put my big mat down with the nails that were in here. So this was a great idea. So I have a bunch more in here. Hello. So you've all seen me set up the shower before, so I'm just going to ramble on about some things. So we got out here earlier than normal, but not, it was about, a week earlier. And I wasn't really concerned. I had a couple people that sent me messages and they're like, hey, it's going to be too hot down there. And we've come here before when it was hot, and we have air conditioning, so I don't worry so much about that. That we're going to have a problem with it, because we can always run the air conditioner. And boy, have we run the air conditioner. So what I'm doing right now, it's, 9 o'clock in the morning. I run the air conditioner just in the afternoon once the heat really builds up, and I run it right off of the batteries and the solar system. So what I'm doing is just getting the batteries, giving them a little help this morning. We're already into long nights. We don't start getting good solar until later in the morning, just because of the sun angle. So I charge from the generator in the morning. Then the batteries get up to 100%. So then in the afternoon, I can turn on the air conditioner and run it right off of the batteries. And I can see in the 10-day forecast that the temperatures are they're gonna start to come down finally. We were in the mid 90s I'm trying to find one more of these that's just a nail with not one of these green things on the head. I have another washer. Maybe I can just make one. There we go. I need to get another set of these nails. I'm going to get the screws this time. They have them in town, so I'll just stop at one of the like KB Tools that's in town and pick up a set of them. So then you just get your impact driver and just zoop, screw it right into the ground. That didn't quite work. This nail must get a little thicker at the top. So we've been, as I was saying about the heat, it was hotter than I expected because, like I said, we've been down here this time of year before. So it was hotter than I expected, and it lasted longer than I expected. You know, we're already, what's today? Today's November 1st, and the 10-day forecast, we still have a lot of 90-degree days. It just hasn't dropped off like it normally does. The nights are nice and cool. So at least in the morning time, it's nice and cool. You know, it's getting down to 60 degrees at night, which is great for sleeping. So that's not been a problem. It's just been, these afternoons have been pretty brutal. I'll be honest, it's been pretty tough. And if we didn't have the air conditioner, you know, and I know a lot of people don't use an air conditioner, we could make it. I would just have to set up some more shade. You know, you can sit in the shade of the truck and it feels okay, even when it's 93 degrees. It still feels okay. Yeah, see, I wish I had one more washer so I could put 4 of them, but I don't. I've got these little tiny ones that came with something, but these are next to useless. I've got 2 of them. Maybe I can do this corner. Yeah, this corner has a grommet too, so I'll go in 2 directions. Yeah, that's gonna hold. Okay. And so now let me get the tent and we'll continue on. Okay, here we go. So I've got my hold down ropes. I always just leave them attached. These are clip on, you know, I've got these tensioners, these ratcheting cam tensioners. So they have a little carabiner hook, so I just leave them hooked to the tent. No reason to undo them. So let's make this into the tent now. Why do I have that bungee there? What was I doing with that? Oh, that was routing my hose, my water hose. Okay. There we go. I got it exactly backwards. There we go. Okay. Yeah, again, I am sorry about this background noise. It's just, I wanted to get this done today. Already had the generator up and running. So hopefully y'all can hear me good. Oh, hitting a rock. See if I can break it. Yep. So these go through the fabric loops because there's a little ringlet here, the eyelet, but those are for holding the floor mat down, the one that goes inside. So I've always had really good luck with these tents staying up It takes a heck of a windstorm. These things are made to battle a windstorm. They actually fold over. If the wind is strong enough, they actually fold over. I went into a hole there. And then they will bounce back up. And it works. It actually works. There we go. Okay. And then here's my floor mat. I Ziploc bagged it last year. Okay. Boy, that zipper is working perfect. You remember I had that new zipper wax that I showed y'all last year. I'll break it out again because way better than the other type that we had been using. Way better. Oh no, wait. You remember? Yeah, we figured out that they changed the size of this tent. The footprint is not the same size, so this floor mat is big. It's too big by a couple of inches. So let me look in my bag over there. So this floor mat is actually from my previous tent, which is more of a green color. This one is blue. So they're sold under the same listing, same company, say, you know, Rapoda, green one, blue one. You'd think they're exactly the same, but they're not. The specs are the same. It's just like a different color choice, but they are not the same. But I think I have the floor mat. And hopefully it fits correctly. Yeah, I never used this one. Because if they have the same size as the other one, it's kind of, I mean, it works, but it's loose. Yeah, this is the exact same. Huh. Well, that's a pisser. Dang it. What did I do last year to make it hold on? I can figure something out here. Like loop it around. Yeah. Alright, I figured it out. I just looped it around the stakes and then hooked it. I think we're going to be just fine. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, now I got to put the outrigger nails. Go out here. And these are, I mean, the tent will stand as it is, but these really help it when there's a storm. So I would really recommend putting these up. So what I was talking about there, the heat and all that, like I know my friend Bob that was here when we pulled in, remember I showed him up on the roof of his rig. He was rearranging his solar panel setup. Oh, all we got is holes over here. There's a big rock I can go behind. There we go. So he's doing the same thing, running his air conditioner. And another friend, Mark, pulled in. He's parked over there. He's running his air conditioner. So we're all running our air conditioners and our generators. So I have that muffler pointed away from anybody. I always try to do that. I don't like to point it at anyone's camp. So it's pointed where nobody is out there. So since we got here, we've had to go back into town to fill the water tanks once.
I have 32 gallons of water on board. You know, two 16-gallon tanks, one that's for the shower and one that's for the sink inside. And then I have my, I think it's 7-gallon, that blue cube that sits on the back bumper there. That is really handy having that back there. I use it all the time to, you know, like rinse out dishes. Sometimes I get out there and stick my head under it, get my hair all wet just to cool myself off. All right, there we go. Let me stand back here and get your view. Yeah, I think we're good. Look at this. My generator, you know, I've always had for the last 4 years, I've had generators from max speeding rods. So I'm gonna have to talk about the generators in a separate video that's gonna be all about generators and what I've gone through since we came out here, because things did not go smooth like they usually do as far as just getting the generator out, fresh gas, and start the thing up, you know. That's how it's supposed to be, right? But that doesn't mean that it's gonna happen that way. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take a shower. That looks nice and clean, very inviting. And I've got a full water tank. I can't wait to get in there. I'm gonna get set up right now. So thank you all for being here with us today. Everyone take care, be safe, and we'll see y'all again real soon. And again, I am sorry about that background noise. That's why I'm cutting this short.